So you might be considering, should I have a free trial or a free tier? As an early startup, it really depends on the market that you're in. Maybe you have a low cost product where you can afford to have a freemium model, and you can then hope to have a longer cycle where these freemium users after 5, 6 months convert to a paid trial. And freemium is great for distribution, but it is not really a business model. At the end of the day, you are paying for all these free users. So freemium is when you're giving out a portion of your product for free, and then you have certain types of paywalls where they have to basically pay to use these advanced or pro features. Slack had an amazing freemium approach where you could have unlimited users and it was free to start with, but you could only search back up to your 10,000 messages. And so as your team grows, now you really need to go back and search those old messages because really important stuff was said, important files were shared. And so people started paying for that. And that was a great paywall that let these freemium users convert. But it did take maybe Slack 5, 6 months before they could convert you into a paid user. But also with freemium, there are probably tens of thousands of teams using Slack for free that Slack has to bear the cost for. The one advantage to freemium is it's going to get you a ton of leads and ton of traffic. But then it's up to you to how you want to convert. The downside to freemium is conversion rate is usually lower and slower. You might have a 4%, 5% conversion rate, and you need to have a really tight funnel in terms of how you convert and encourage users to go and up level on your platform. A lot of times, your free product is good enough, they might never have an incentive to move over to the premium or paid tiers. With free trial, you're basically giving them a 14-day trial, 30-day trial. They're getting the full experience during that time. And then afterwards, they have to put in their credit card and convert. You're going to tend to see higher conversion rate with free trials. It's around 8% from what we've seen the best companies do. The problem with free trial, obviously, is you're going to have a large amount of dormancy where people actually don't completely set up their trial, actually use the product thoroughly, get the full experience or reach that aha magic moment of this is why I need to buy it within the time period. So people might come back and you need to extend the trial for them. You need to keep following up with them, and it becomes a little bit tedious in terms of a process to manage. Also, free trials are going to get you leads, but probably not as much as freemium would. I would suggest for startups that have a real cost to running their service, for every user they have some sort of cost that they incur, free trial makes more sense because you don't want basically freeloaders that basically run you out of business, right? But freemium is also great if you have a long-term strategy, if you have more money and you want to go after leads in the long term. A company that I love that does free trial really effectively and also has a free plan is Zapier. So they have both the free trial as well, where you can try out the pro features, and you have the freemium tier where you can use up to a certain amount of credits or tasks on their system. Some companies are able to incorporate both systems in, but as a startup, you probably want to stick to one model, know the pros and cons of it, and just stick with that for the remaining next 6 to 12 months, so you don't confuse two different pricing models for users. I would also suggest that you should try to get your first 10 customers to be paid users as soon as possible. Maybe if it's not your first 10, your first 20, because ultimately it's the paid users that are going to give you feedback that's going to be actually valuable because they're paying and they're putting their mouth where their money is.